Oh,
I want to start this
I
episode
have
with a
one.
special shout out to my beautiful fiance for showing me how to work this equipment. Thanks, Deborah. This episode brought to you by Deborah Brooks. Today's episode is brought to you by Deborah Brooks. Maybe she's a little bit mean, but she knows how to use computers. I bought this thing a few years ago, this audio box. I bought it a couple years ago because I wanted to do a relationship podcast.
With who?
With myself. I had this idea to do a podcast, and it was going to be called Broads. Broads with Mike Racine. And it never happened. I don't know why.
I wonder. Yeah.
Yeah.
No sponsors for that one.
No
Really?
sponsors. Yeah. No Diva Cup sponsorship. No period underwear. Yeah, so Deborah got us set up. I'm recording on the MacBook with this audio box thing. And I hate using this thing because every time I would try to use it, back in 2013, it would just I couldn't figure it out. And I'd be constantly plugging it in, unplugging it, and it's just got a lot of negative energy. It's like a little demon. It's like a little
It works perfect. I use it every day.
It's just a little demon box in my life that reminds me of a really bad time before you came into it. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, we gotta. I need the iPad. You mind grabbing it? Thank you. We got a special episode. Thank you. We got a special episode because today I actually read something.
Congratulations.
People want to say, "Oh, you don't read anything. This show sucks. I'm not learning." Who listens to a podcast to learn? There's your first mistake.
Yeah.
Why don't you call there's a mosquito in here. Christ. Why don't you take some classes, go to technical school, learn some VCR repair? You're here for knowledge? That's the wrong place.
Did you even introduce Maylin yet?
No. And her name's not Maylin, it's Maylin.
Maylin.
Whatever. It's either's fine. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Maylin sounds ethnic.
Yeah. I get asked sometimes how I pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
People are just trying to see how ethnic I am.
Well, today we're talking to Maylin Pavletic. Wow,
Yeah.
that name's a real mouthful.
Yeah.
Really rolls off the tongue,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
1,
inbred
2, 3, 4,
fisherman.
5.
Yeah.
Maylin Pavletic. Yeah.
Inbred fisherman ethnicity.
That's
That's
a lot
all
of
I need to know.
syllables.
Yeah.
What's it like to have a name with so many syllables?
Oh, really? It's a lot, It's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, it's more about kind of thinking of the world as a think piece and how it reacts to your own name with a lot of syllables.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's your middle name?
My middle name's Robert.
Oh, yeah. Boring as shit. Sorry.
My confirmation name is Francis of St. Francis of Assisi.
Wow.
The famous saint who could talk to animals. The saint that every kid did their Catholic saint report on.
I was not raised Catholic.
No?
No, my mom learned her lesson by going to Catholic school as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She just raised heathens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pick like a saint to do a report on, and then you basically pick your confirmation name based on what saint you report on.
Okay.
So it came down to between Saint Francis and Saint Gay Ass of France.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not Monaco.
Lesser known saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think like most saints are just kind of like they give the most ridiculous deaths for all of them, and you're just expected to believe it. Like he was shot with 1,000 arrows and survived. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it seems like it's always just a priest who was murdered.
Yeah.
I guess they murdered a lot more priests back then.
Yeah. There wasn't DNA evidence, and you were allowed to take your anger out on people that actually did things to your kids instead of just suing. So,
okay.
Yeah. Get it?
There wasn't.
There
was some guy who was like, he was some Catholic or some Christian philosopher, and he like never reached sainthood. But I think his name was Origen.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard he was never canonized, but he did castrate himself.
Yeah, that's like
Which
Marshall
sucks.
Applewhite.
Oh, did he?
Heaven's Gate guy?
Mhm.
That hot piece,
Mhm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't
Kind
know
of has
that.
like a Biden thing. Yeah, he went down to Mexico to get it done.
Really?
Yeah.
So you would think that's just a thing you can do like in your shed. You know? Like you have to make an appointment.
Yeah. He was too busy buying Nike's wholesale pre-internet. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I think we can.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where he.
Where he got all the Nikes?
Have you
for
ever
his
had an
converts?
idea like that? I feel like when I found out about wholesale, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, I just started thinking.
Seven.
Like,
Wait, you found out about
hmm.
wholesale?
No, I
7
knew
or
what
8
wholesale
years
was.
ago?
Well, I had an idea what it was. But what happened was I started working in retail. I worked in this like little boutique
Yeah.
food store,
Yeah.
and I saw what we were buying the stuff for and what we were selling them.
Yeah.
Usually it was sold at like maybe a 55% markup.
Okay.
Yeah, about a 55% markup. So I started. So I remember thinking like a few times because I think most of your 20s is just you wasting your time being
Yeah.
stupid. Not like now, where everything's together.
Yeah.
But
you know exactly how to record everything
Ye-
with
all right,
your own
shut-
equipment.
Okay. Well, I can use a Zoom.
No. I'm joking.
I'm gonna upload this shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
Matt's being outsourced very quickly by a woman.
Wow.
Yeah,
Taking
producer.
the jobs. Yeah.
But I remember thinking like when I found out about wholesale, I remember thinking like, I wonder, could I just like buy all my Nikes for the entire year? Could I like find a Nike factory and be like, hey, and I'll just buy like 10 pairs of Nikes for like $300, and then I'll just have my supply. Doesn't really work that way. Another idea that I had was I was gonna, and this is another thing too. It's just I never really was formally educated. I do consider myself, like a very street smart person.
Yeah.
But there was a store that sold like little portable chargers wholesale.
Yeah.
They sold them for like, I think like $10 each. So I was like, what if I just kept a bunch of these in my backpack and sold them to people for like $15?
That's how a lot of businesses get started, like wholesale businesses.
What, just some guy with a backpack?
No, well, yeah, backpack or like a car
Mhm.
or a garage. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how most of it gets started.
All right. Well, I guess
Sorry,
I
that was to a
always-
dog, not to you.
Oh yeah. We should clear that
I'm
up.
here. I'm here
I
for the
forget
dogs.
forget it's not a video podcast. All right. Well, here's why I'm excited today, because you're somebody who knows something about what we're talking about.
Oh, thank you.
And that is something I appreciate, because I actually got to do some research. I have an outline today. So today we're talking about the Unabomber, notably the Murray experiment
Hmm.
that happened at Harvard in the 1950s.
Yep.
Now, there's a lot to unpack here, because this is a story about academia,
Hmm.
about technology,
Hmm.
about how smart people suck and they usually cause a lot of the world's problems.
Yeah.
People who are insulated in like an academic bubble
Yeah.
are bad and shouldn't be listened to. And really, if you do want to learn, you should listen to podcasts. You should listen to what the people are saying. And I hope Elizabeth Warren, if you're listening, I want you to listen to 900 hours of podcasts to figure out what the people want. I challenge you. Please listen to Come Town. Listen to Tinder Tales with David Piccolomini. Listen to every podcast hosted by a guy named David.
Not a Jewish thing, though, right?
What
Every guy named David. It's not.
is Jewish?
No, it was a.
There's
You
a
never
few-
heard that?
Huh?
It was
Is-
a dumb
are there?
joke from some old comedian. Don't worry about it. The point is that we're talking about the Murray experiment.
Yes. Well, so where should we? I mean, where do you think we should start? Should we start with Ted Kaczynski's life as a kid?
Sure. I mean,
should we chronologically?
yeah, I've met his brother.
Or should we? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've met his brother
Or should we
and his
Tarantino this
sister.
story?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I
That's a
kind of
lot
want
of
to Tarantino it.
You
It's
want
more
Tarantino
fun.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Oh man,
Nice.
I want to start with the arrest.
Keep me on my toes. Okay. Great.
No,
Great. Let's do it.
yeah. So I
I trust you.
Yeah. Oh Jesus Christ. So I'm usually one synapse off. So let's see where
One
this
synapse.
goes.
Okay.
But yeah. So I.
Keep talking. Don't stop talking. I have to go to that other table right there,
Okay.
and I have to grab that mount.
Okay.
So just keep.
Okay.
Keep speaking.
Cool.
Just
Cool.
keep speaking.
No pressure. Oh my god.
Don't stop. Don't stop. talking?
Okay, thanks. Yep,
good?
yep. I've been talking the whole
Okay, I'm
time. I
back.
promise. Great, good job. Congratulations. Okay, so
So the arrest.
so the arrest. He was arrested after being 17 years kind of just in Montana, alone in a shack making bombs and then sending them to universities and airports. Hence
Awesome.
Unabomber. But he
And
is
that comes from carbonation, university and airlines.
yeah.
That's why they named it.
Yeah.
FBI
Unabomber.
agents aren't very smart.
No,
Right?
they're fucking idiots. I know
Mhm.
because my cousin's one.
Mhm.
He fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, real piece of trash.
Yeah.
The point is two of the most expensive FBI manhunts in history are people from Boston. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Boston bomber.
No. The longest and most expensive would be Whitey Bulger
Mhm.
and then Unabomber.
Which took
and
57 years.
yeah.
to find some old man.
And both of them were victims of MK Ultra experiments from the CIA, which sounds like I have tinfoil on my head, but they were mind control experiments
Mind
and
control.
That's
something you hear. I hear MK Ultra all the time. I didn't
Yeah.
realize until today it was mind control. CIA
Yeah.
mind control.
Yeah. So the CIA had like certain letters to kind of decipher what exactly, like what category an experiment was in. So hence the MK, and then Ultra is just because they're a huge fan of that lingerie brand.
Oh
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So let me ask you this: really?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. Well, is the CIA like just bored? 'Cause you would think that you could like just spot, like you could think you could fill all your time just spying on
Yeah.
people, just spying on poor African nations and decimating their economy.
Yeah.
You would think that takes up a lot of your.
But it's so easy. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? I think they like the challenge.
But
They like
then
the
it's
challenge of
like-
breaking white brains.
Uh huh. Right. But it's like sexual blackmail, mind
Yeah.
control. Like just
Yeah.
I don't know, stay in your lane and
Yeah.
run guns to paramilitary groups in
Right.
South America. And
Using the money from cocaine that was brought into the U. Just
Yeah.
basic
we're so smart.
A plus B equals C shit.
Yeah.
Back to basics. Marie Kondo, your
Mhm.
plans,
Right.
Yeah, but
Marie Kondo, like they sent her to the CIA.
they were like,
Had to
does this
tidy
bring
up.
you does this bring you joy?
Yeah. Had to tidy up your mind control operation. Or had to,
Yeah, but
there's,
Whitey
just,
Bulger.
there's just half human, half goats in the thing. And she's like, let's get rid of
yeah,
this.
yeah.
In Japanese.
Yeah. Good job.
They have to declutter their aliens.
Yeah, no, they anyway, what was it? Whitey Bulger was fed acid in Alcatraz as part of their LSD experiments, and then Ted Kaczynski was part of a psych experiment with Murray.
Mm-hmm.
And although it's never been confirmed, the reason why they think that that this was a partially government funded research is because Harvard was one of the universities that didn't sign a pledge promising that they would not work with the government on various experiments.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they never signed a pledge pledging that they wouldn't.
Mhm.
So they accepted money for that shit, right?
Mhm.
And then also, since it's about mind control, which was like that was like the CIA's that was their shit. They loved it back then. So like the subject combined with the university
Because
is
they
what.
thought they could
It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb.
It's dumb, yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And it's like, well, yeah, you did
It's very
change their
juvenile,
brain,
right?
but it's oatmeal. Like you got a bunch of Terry Shivos. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So they've been able to like change people's
They're like,
brain
"Look
through
what we
damage.
did." We made a vegetable. Thank you. Somebody's giving a TED talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you can also just put them in the NFL too. Like you don't
Yeah, yeah,
need
yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
Just say no.
We've
Yeah.
had some major breakthroughs in mind control. Wow. Now, who would like to come up here and feed it a cookie?
It never gets all the way in. It's
Yeah.
just crumbles.
Yeah.
You got to get a little bit of milk with the
Right.
to help them swallow.
It feels like a common theme of this podcast is we take a look at villains and who we ask this question a lot, who are the real villains? Who are
Yeah.
and it just feels like a guy who robs an old woman and then has to shoot her because she was rude to him. That to me,
He has to.
or just somebody who I don't know, somebody who robs a convenience store or something,
Yeah.
or just to me that seems like less. I don't know. I don't want to say it's less evil, but it's it's not it's not as bad because it's like not allowed. Society like frowns upon it.
Mm-hmm.
But you could probably have a job at the CIA trying to control people's mind, ruining countless lives.
Yeah. And
you
the families too. You
Mhm.
know, like
And you get to go home to your cul-de-sac
yeah.
and watch Home Improvement with your kids.
And like, you know, the kids will roll their eyes when you try to do the Tim Allen impression,
Mhm.
you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Dad, shut up.
Yeah. I just wanted to do that. That's all I wanted to do. Simple pleasures. Yeah. Yeah. So with the Murray experiment, they kind of specifically recruited him because he was accepted into Harvard at 16. So
Mhm.
he's legally a child. But as a
Mhm.
sophomore, when he was 17, he was part of an experiment where they were trying to.
What was this guy's name? Douglas Murray?
Yeah, he's complicated, like all
Mhm.
fucking psychiatrists from that time.
Mhm.
A lot of personality tests that have kind of stood the test of time, if you will,
Mhm.
are considered his babies. But also he's a fucking monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that most doctors are monsters if you become like famous. Like you got to do some
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that gynecology guy that has a statue in Central Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a statue in Central Park. He's like considered the father of modern gynecology, but he actually did experiments without
they
anesthesia.
named parts of the vagina after him.
Yeah, honestly,
really?
yeah.
That's so,
So
funny.
fucking stupid.
That rules.
Yeah. It does because he performed all this stuff without
Wow,
anesthesia. on
very
black
interesting,
women.
Dr.
Yeah.
Racine. Let's call this part of the vagina the Racine.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's anyway.
There's like female rappers talking about it. Like, I want you to beat up my Racine. I love how
he can reach up there, touch that Racine.
yeah.
Racine stroke.
He never licked the Racine, so I had to let him
No,
go.
that just sounds like you're talking about a taint. I'm sorry. That's what
Yeah.
your name sounds like in that
Man,
context.
men rule, huh? We get
Yeah.
women's body parts named after us.
Jesus
Dr.
Christ.
Labia.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not a real thing.
No?
Dr. Labia?
Oh, okay.
No,
But,
no. That's the name of my podcast. It's about how I'm gonna try to get pieces of dick named after me.
Oh,
Yeah.
good luck.
Literal
I think they're all-
pieces. I'm
I
gonna
think
cut them
they're
up.
all named.
Yeah.
I think we figured that out.
Damn it.
I think the cavemen figured. Yeah.
Oh wait, what was it? I'm sorry. Again, like my brain's all over the place.
Yeah.
it's-
Douglas Murray.
Yeah. No, he's a
Because
trash
Charles
bag.
Murray also went to Harvard. He was the bell curve guy.
Yeah. So I don't think that they're related, are they?
No.
No.
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Anyway.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh. Well. So they essentially with this experiment, they once a week for 3 years, they would attach electrodes to him to read his, body
Mhm.
shit, and then he would they would like berate him about his life views and everything that is most personal about him and all this other stuff, and they did that once a week for a few hours for 3 years to someone who is like just emerging into schizophrenia, who's like also a genius and has like there's like also like a huge class difference between
Mhm.
him and a lot of people who went to Harvard,
Mhm.
because Harvard just used to be a place where you sent like your rich dumb kids because like
Yeah.
they couldn't, like they didn't know how to like work a farm yet, so like
Right.
or like own people, so like you gotta shoo them off and then they'll
Right,
come
right.
back with a dumb degree.
Right.
Anyway, but no, so
My
he
back
was
hurts. All right, you go to
God
Harvard. You can go
damn
to
it.
Harvard. Dad, this fucking sucks.
But yeah, no, so anyway, he was like isolated, and then some of his only contact with people was through verbal abuse and electrodes attached to you,
Mhm.
and also I think an important thing,
What was the purpose of the experiment? They just wanted to.
they wanted to see how they could
Hello, my name's Dr.
break his
Murray.
head.
Today we're going to call someone a pussy every day. Welcome to my TED Talk. This is Jeremy. He's 12 years old. And Jeremy, you're a fucking pussy. Did you know that? You suck. Just bully him like he's a
Honestly, it was just like
Yeah.
this idea of like trying to
Jeremy. You know your clothes. Your clothes make you look like you're poor, don't you?
What's probably what they said to him
You
too.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like,
Well, there was.
how would you ever know anything? You come from some fucking immigrant Polish family. What the
Mhm.
fuck are you? Anyway,
You know what I remember? Do you remember like starting middle school? How it was very nerve wracking because it's like, oh, new place, bigger school, more kids.
no, I grew up in like a small town. So
Okay.
continue. I'll pretend to know.
Well, when I was in 5th grade, I had a teacher, Mrs. Herstein, who would like her big line was like, I'm scared to death to send you to middle school. That's like she would say that all the time. So she made middle school seem like this
oh my god,
pretty scary. Yeah. And she would Mrs. Herstein would always yell. I think my mom ran into her at the grocery store recently.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like asking about me. My mom was like, "Yeah, he's been on TV." Anyway, so so my friend Mike Henry, he would just write the word stump in his notebook, and I think stump just meant like an erection. And one day she like found his notebook and she was like, what is this? What are you writing in here? Like she's like screaming at the top of her lungs like she always did. And then she looks at the notebook and she goes, what does stump mean?
So that you think that's what it was like for him?
What?
Ted Kaczynski? You think
That's
that's what it was like?
That's what it's like for Ted Kaczynski. No. What I want to say was so I was scared of going to middle school because Mrs. Herstein was like, I'm so scared to send you to middle school.
Yeah.
And my biggest fear of going to middle school was that like people were gonna like make fun of my clothes. And I was like, because most of my clothes are from the Gap, which is not like middle of the road. Gap has nice stuff.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, it was probably nicer. But I was so worried that people were gonna like ask me where all my clothes were from and then bully me and say that too many of my clothes are from the Gap.
Oh.
And I don't know who I thought was going to be at the school.
They're
Just like-
going to check the
just
label
the
in your
eye,
pants.
The queer eye guys. Yeah. Just
What are those? A Gappuccino?
Jonathan Van Ness is just like, what the fuck are you wearing? What the fuck? Another Gap shirt? So I was like, they're gonna think too many of my clothes are from the Gap.
Versus like, what was it? Like Abercrombie and all that other shit? Like
Yeah.
you were worried it was more like people were going to be
A
like,
lot-
oh, you
the-
don't wear
some of the cool kids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
stupid
never
shit.
wore Abercrombie.
No.
I always knew it was bullshit.
It's making like an ironic comeback.
Is it? I'm
and
sure.
I'm so sad that I do not have the financial power to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They would sell like ripped jeans with paint on them.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. You know how you get ripped jeans with paint on them? Build a fucking table.
Yeah. why don't you-
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Make
yeah. Really
something.
small town. Grew up in a really small town where you
Mhm.
build tables.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, no, that's kind of probably what it was like for Ted Kaczynski. He was put in a dorm too, where it was like the preppiest dorm, where like if you don't cuff your pants right, or if your hair parted continental versus the other way, like it's a whole to do. So
Yeah, this was one of the things because I read this article from the Atlantic, and this is one of the big things that I wrote down. This is from the Atlantic. Snobism was indeed pervasive at Harvard back then. A single false sartorial step could brand one an outcast, and Kaczynski looked shabby. He owned just 2 pairs of slacks and only a few shirts. Although he washed these each week in the coin-operated machine in the basement of the house next to Abe Prescott, they became increasingly ragtag. That was sad.
yeah. And it's also like he got there because he's a
Just some little
fucking
Pollock.
genius.
Yeah.
And he
Mhm.
yeah, no, I mean, he came from like a working class family, and he comes here, and you already probably feel more isolated if you're smarter than everybody else, and you come here thinking it's going to be amazing with the best professors in the world, and then
Yeah.
they end up just abusing you,
Right.
and like
And then you're in a school with a bunch of Colin Joes.
fucking yeah,
A bunch
Dude.
of like
I fucking hate Harvard.
you do. Yeah.
Trash bag school.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it. I'm sorry. I think it is
I mean, Colin went there, who's a
great.
a good friend of mine, great guy. But a couple times we did go to like Harvard parties, and I remember it just being like, I don't like
It is the most
these people. Some
And-
guy yelled at Deb because she like took a selfie in the fucking I'm gonna use this word, gay ass Harvard Lampoon house.
I'm going. I'm sorry. Have a great day. Are we done with the podcast? I can't be
I'm
around
sorry.
the word gay ass.
There's just no other way
Yeah.
to describe that house. I'm sorry. Sue me. Take everything. Take my gaming chair.
Okay. Your cougar gaming chair?
Yeah.
It's a
No,
cougar. Ooh, nice ride.
That dumbass like Harvard Lampoon house where they write the
Shittiest.
Harvard
The
Lampoon.
shittiest. I'm sorry. It
yeah.
drives me so
I
fucking
know.
mad.
I know.
Yeah, no, it's
And
like
they all work at Saturday Night Live. They just get to go be mediocre. Not Colin, but other people.
I mean, I do have an issue with like, the overwhelming majority of people that I've met who have went there are pretty much unremarkable undergrad wise. Like grad school, because like you're getting paid by the institution to like do research and shit, right? But it's no, it's bad news. They're also like
this
horrible
guy,
for
Deb like took a selfie and I there's like I always wish I handled this situation better, but Deb like so it was like a Halloween party. She like takes a selfie and this guy runs up to her and starts yelling at her and like makes her delete it. And then asked to go through her phone to make sure she doesn't have any other pictures.
God.
And I was just like, I was like, all right, but I wish that I like, because Scarlett was there too. Not to brag, but good friend of mine. And I wish I was just like, Colin, never work with this guy. Anyway.
Yeah, you should have done that. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, but that would have been pretty great.
I know, but I'm a pussy.
No. You're polite. Yeah.
I'm too polite.
Yeah, that's your problem. You're way too polite.
I'm gonna go and burn that stupid.
Building down. The issue that I have with it is that like I think that with a lot of institutions like Harvard is that like their record for how they treat their students and how they treat people of upper middle class white people is fucking horrendous.
Oh yeah.
And it's considered to be revered, but like, and it's built on these like pillars. It's built on sand. It's built on total bullshit. And yet people continue to revere it and they continue to make money and not pay any fucking taxes in Cambridge and Boston because they've extended their campus for several like 30 acres into Alston. Have permanently changed like artist housing and all this other shit there too. I have a huge problem with that institution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we just haters though?
No, I think to be a hater, I think you have to like write like a formal letter or something. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So why was he? Well, I just want to say fuck the Lampoon.
Yeah, no, it's not funny. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Now I sound like I should be handing in that formal letter, right?
You know what pissed me off one time? The Saturday Night Live aired this sketch once. And this was the only time, because like, white man over here, there's not a lot that really like punches down at me. There's not a lot that like can really offend me the way that other racial minorities would be offended.
Yeah.
But this was like this. But I saw this sketch, and I like this sketch made me understand punching down because I felt like they were punching down at me. Because they aired this sketch a few years ago about like, this mom is like, yeah, my family makes a huge mess. When I need something strong to clean it up, I use a suit from Joseph A. Banks. And I remember like when I was a sophomore, I got for my sophomore social, I went and got my suit from Joseph A. Banks. I just remember being like, you fucking fuck you.
No,
I got so mad.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like fucking. I don't know if it's like me being hypersensitive, but it's like, if people are trying to get a suit, they're trying to like get like a job. Like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like country club humor.
Yeah.
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 Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so they ruined someone's brain.
What are you triggered, Mike? Yeah, they just ruined a kid's brain.
Yeah, no, they ruined several brains. But, also with psych experiments at that time, there was no requirement to debrief people about what exactly an experiment was. And there was, nothing said beforehand like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what will happen if you ever need to leave or if you don't feel comfortable with something. You absolutely have a right to do that. And then, we will stop the experiment.
Yeah.
But it was just like abusing a kid's brain for years.
Yeah.
Then what did he do after that? He went to go get his PhD at University of Michigan, told everyone to fuck off, was the youngest professor at UC Berkeley, and then quit. And who remembers the rest? I just think it's a real Rudy underdog.
In a lot of ways. Yeah.
Who remembers?
Yeah, and that's our episode, everybody.
I think it's one of those examples where it's like you really got to read on.
Funny. You make a Unabomber movie, it just ends with him being like, and you're please welcome Professor Ted Kaczynski. youngest professor at University of Michigan. He's like, thank you.
Yeah,
And
it's a
then it just
stand and
ends.
deliver too. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty good. Yeah.
I do want to just go off on a little tangent here because I'm pretty sure this guy Douglas Murray went to Harvard, and Douglas
Mhm.
Murray wrote The Bell Curve,
Mhm.
and so people don't like the Bell Curve because it's about IQ, but there's a couple chapters in the Bell Curve
Mhm.
where he talks about race and IQ,
Yeah.
and so like that. So this is the kind of stuff that never really gets talked about and doesn't. There's no pushback from like a lot of this like academic
World.
this like academic, like, what's the word, distance from that you can just say something like that and be like, well, it's just data, it's just science. You
Yeah.
can go, oh, actually, we've noticed a difference between race and IQ, and that's it. Yeah, we don't need to like look into that anymore.
Yeah, and
You
it's
know?
like, but also that probably also has to do with like socioeconomic status. It has to do with like what you're exposed to as a young child and like all that other stuff. But it's more like just race.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, it's right. Sorry, it's just
You
it's
know-
just information.
Whites and Italians.
Mhm.
That's what I mean by race, right? Like the
I mean, look, Italians probably do score lower on IQ tests. I will say that but as we all know, there's many different ways of measuring someone's intelligence.
Mhm.
And look, maybe if someone, maybe we're not reading because we're perfecting our red sauce. We're learning about.
You
we're
learn
learning,
by doing, not by reading,
yeah,
right?
we're learning about red sauce and how to cheat on our wife. It's like, yeah, okay, maybe I don't understand math, science, international relations.
Yeah.
But like, if you need some tips on how to commit adultery for 20 years, hide it from your family while you go to church every Sunday. Maybe you talk to an Italian.
Yeah.
But
no.
yeah, it's that kind of stuff that you don't see that much pushback against.
Yeah, and
This academic, like,
or it's considered this like troubled thing of the past. It's never really directly talked about, and it's never really, directly condemned. It's kind of assumed that like, oh, well, if we're part of an academic elite, then obviously we know now that it's wrong. So we don't need to say anything about that.
mhm,
Right.
mhm.
And I think that is fucking disgusting.
Mhm. There was a Chapo episode where I think they did a show at Harvard and they had like a bracket of who was the most evil person.
and
to go
he
to
got
Harvard.
out. I mean, I tried to get tickets to that when I was there
Oh, yeah?
because of my Unabomber sweatshirt that had Harvard on it. You know that thing? Anyway, all profits go to charity. No big deal.
Yeah.
The point is, they kicked
You
Ted
should have called me.
Kaczynski out
I'm
immediately.
actually friends. I don't want to toot my own horn, but yeah, not only am I friends with Scarlett Johansson, but I'm friends with the Chapo guys.
Mm.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Will Manicker's
I'm
phone number
friends
is
with
917.
my dog. What?
I'm just saying Will Manicker's phone number is at 917-207-4594.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Wow.
go ahead and
Yeah.
shoot him a text if you like.
Thanks. Thank you. No, anyway, no, they knocked him out immediately of that bracket because they were like, oh yeah, he was right about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ted Kaczynski. I don't know. I think that the other problem was not only was he part of those experiments and like, you can't, just because you can explain something doesn't mean you can exonerate it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you can explain why he kind of started to resent universities and all that other shit and mental illness. But, he did like kill 3 people and wound 27 others. But
Right.
yeah. But also
Which-
he hid fake like clues to who he was in those bombs. That's why
Really?
he was so hard to catch from the
Fake
FBI.
clues to who he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. So he hid those. So like he would like put like in like ripped up chapters of a book and be like, what does this mean? What is this clue? But he just kind of used that to throw him off the scent.
Do you follow Sam Tripoli on?
No.
He does the Tinfoil Hat podcast. I've never met him, but he's an LA comic and
Mhm.
he's got a podcast about conspiracies and stuff. And
Mhm.
I always like just hearing what he has to say
Mhm.
about but he, I think recently on Instagram I saw him be like, the Unabomber was right. Rich kids are going to be the downfall of society. And is that in the manifesto?
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily rich kids. It's not just one manifesto. He's also went on in Supermax to write several books
Mm-hmm.
that he's self-published or has been put out there.
Mhm.
But that's kind of in there. The thing is that there has been like kind of like a resurgence of interest in the Unabomber because he was kind of like an eco-terrorist. It was like society needs to be destroyed or else like we're going to destroy the earth, all this other stuff. But a lot of what he also said has been said by other people before him.
Mhm.
They just didn't mail bombs with ripped up chapter
Right,
books
so
in
how do
them.
you get attention? It's like being a podcaster. Like, how do you set yourself apart from the sea of other people out there? I mean,
Yeah. What's your brand? What's your differentiator?
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Should I do that? Should I just mail a couple bombs, not kill anybody, but just like mail a couple bombs, go to federal prison, and just do the show from jail? I'd probably get a following.
No, oh my God, that would be actually pretty
That'd be
choice.
sick.
That would be good.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
send a bomb to like my grandma or something. She's 93. Just kill her with a bomb.
Oh man, my grandma's
Okay.
93 too.
All
Okay,
right.
wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I give a press conference. I'm like, okay, yes, I did kill my grandmother, but check out the sit down on. No, we'll kill Matt's parents. What do you think, guys? Write in. Shoot me an Instagram DM. Is it a good idea for us to send a bomb to Matt's parents to bring some attention to our work here?
Yeah,
On
it's
the show.
important work.
Yeah.
You know, it's the ends justify the means.
Mhm.
Well, when his brother, when I saw him speak
Mhm.
about what it was like to hand over your own brother to the FBI, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His brother turned him in.
Yeah, because several months.
Rat of the week. When we started the show, we did a little rat of the week segment.
Oh yeah, it's totally him. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. Or it would also be, I mean, he got the idea from his wife who asked him, like, hey, do you think this Unabomber guy could be your brother? And he was
Mhm.
like, no.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mhm.
No, wait, maybe. So they talked for months every single night. And then the
Ken and
manifesto.
his brother?
Yeah. No. He stopped talking to him. I want to say like a few decades before
Mhm.
all the manifesto shit came out. But
If you had a family member who
Okay.
sent bombs to people and you knew it was them, would you turn them in?
yeah,
I probably would.
I want to
too.
get that memoir money. That's
Right.
sweet.
Right, right.
It's all
right.
about the money, right?
Oh,
That's why you do it.
Come on, man.
Yeah. No, it depends on who she's sending him to.
Not me. Have you seen my Patreon numbers? It is not all about the money for this show. It's about the love of. It's about the love of using casual slurs.
Yeah, well,
No, I'm not. I don't do that anymore.
oh, good job. Growth happens in all ways, shapes, and forms.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. So when the manifesto came out, they went to a linguist and they compared text that his brother sent him about why he should never ever get married, and then also the manifesto. And they were like, even if it's like a 10% chance,
Mhm.
then we need to go to the FBI. And then they came back and it's like, it's a 99% chance that
Who
the
came back
same.
and said that?
Oh, the linguist that they sent
Oh,
the
okay.
two things to.
Yeah.
Anyway, because there's particular phrasing that he used in both of them that no one ever fucking uses.
Okay.
Anyway, but
And
when he
linguistics is a study of language.
probably
Like writing. Shut up. Get out of my house. Give me that seltzer water
Okay,
back.
Sure.
I wasted the good seltzer on you.
Wegmans is good seltzer. I agree. Okay. What? Oh yeah,
I love Wegmans.
it's pretty good.
But they're building one here. I'm not going to go to it.
Oh, they're building one
in
here.
in the Navy Yard. in
Oh
Brooklyn.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's to me, Wegmans is like that's for the suburbs.
Yeah. I would
Shop at Food Bazaar like everybody else.
yeah.
Smelly ass Food Bazaar. Where you have to take your meat back the next day because it smells.
That has happened to me. It's true.
Like I don't like this trend of like bringing the suburbs to the city. Go home for that.
Yeah.
If that's
yeah.
what-
I agree. I think that is.
Oh my God, we went to Dick's Sporting Goods.
Went to
we went-
Modell's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Modell's is a
Is
city.
it? Is it city?
I think so. Yeah, because I don't know. I've known it to be more of a city thing.
Huh.
there. I've seen more Modell's in the city than I have
Okay.
in the suburbs.
Okay.
Anyway, right into the show.
Okay.
Where's Modell's from? I think it started in New York City. I don't
Really?
have time to look that up. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm sure there's a need to get lacrosse sticks somewhere for the city.
hmm
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, when the FBI was, when they went to the FBI, we're like, hey, this is my brother. Before he pointed him out on the map where the shack was, they said he was like, I want you to promise me two things, right? I want you to promise me that brother's not going to get the death penalty. I'm not
Mhm.
going to be the one to kill my own brother.
Mhm.
And I want you to keep the press away from my house.
You're
And
like,
do you-
all right, buddy.
And do you know what the FBI did? Neither of those fucking things. Like,
Mhm.
they're pieces of shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no honor.
No, there's no
Yeah.
honor.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, it was probably just like lost in paperwork. It's just fucking
think?
nonsense. It's a bunch
You
of
know
fucking
what?
idiots.
That's actually happened a bunch of times where like the FBI, makes a
Yeah.
promise, makes a deal, and
Yeah.
they just don't.
Mhm.
I think they did that with who did they do that with? Oh, they did that with Phil Leonetti, who
Are
was
you
like
serious?
who was like the underboss of the Philly mob, who
Mhm.
ratted on his uncle. Now his
Yeah.
uncle was like a psychopath,
Yeah.
but they promised him like a new identity and a new driver's license just so he could like get a job,
Yeah.
so he could like work in
Yeah.
a box factory or
Right.
something. And they didn't do it. They're just like, yeah, whoops, sorry.
I don't. I don't
Yeah.
want to tell you guys. Yeah.
It makes me think of did you ever see Godfather 2?
Yeah. Of
So
course.
you remember that scene? Like I rewatched this scene recently because I think it's one of the best scenes that I've ever seen in a movie. It's when Robert Duvall goes to the prison
Yeah.
to tell Frank Pentangeli to kill himself.
Yeah.
But there's like a warmth there, like you can tell they're friends, and he's
Yeah.
like, and he shakes his hand and he
Yeah.
goes, "Don't worry about anything," and he's like, "Thanks, Tom," and he slits his wrist.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the FBI doesn't. They don't understand that. They
Yeah.
don't
No.
understand friendship.
No. They.
The FBI will never understand telling your best friend to slit his wrist and you'll take care of his family.
It's fucking gross. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Organized crime. Do I have any connections? You know what? Oddly enough,
Please, I
a
don't.
lot of people have gone to my dad's animal hospital. A lot of organized crime people to
Hmm.
take care of their animals.
Really?
Isn't that weird? Yeah. Like John
Probably
Gotti,
terrifying.
Ray Patry, something.
Raymond
Yeah.
Patriarca.
Yeah, and then Whitey Bulger, but that's just because it's in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a weird connection between animals and fucking mobster sociopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony
Yeah.
Soprano and the Ducks too.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the horse,
Whitey Bulge is like, what's your father's name?
Michael.
Listen, I found this pigeon on the street, and I think he's sick. I need you to fix him. Okay. All right. Joyce, cancel all my other appointments. I'll be working on this pigeon.
No, it's no. One time, a friend of my dad, they had some vet tech was
Mhm.
receiving a dog to come in for like overnight, and some like guy like with no neck and like steroids came in with this fucking German Shepherd, and
Mhm.
she was like, well, you need a down payment for if you're going to be leaving that dog overnight. And he like turns around and he gets really mad and he pulls out like a fistful of cash, just like flicks money and then throws it at her
Awesome.
and walks
Yeah,
away.
nice.
And it was so anyway, she was like, what did I do? And she was like crying. It was one of her first weeks working there.
Mhm.
And then the vet comes out and goes, what the fuck did you just do? What did you just do? And she goes, what? I need a down payment. Those are the rules. And he goes, that's John Gotti's dog. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. What a dumb
Boston?
bitch. No. This was actually, that one was down in New York.
Okay.
Yeah. New
Well,
York
how was
and
she supposed to know it was John Gotti's dog?
Boston. The guy had no neck. Come on.
Yeah. That's funny. I know, but imagine, but then John Gotti's dog, like something happens to it while it's under your care.
Yeah, you can't.
Something, or it's your dog's time to go.
Yeah. They.
It's not like they are reasonable people.
I've heard
Italians.
nice things.
Yeah. No, I'm sure, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
usually it's not like, oh, like my dog's a little bit sick. It's more like my dog's got a tumor on its ass and
Yeah.
it needs to get removed so no one
Right
thinks that
now.
it has hemorrhoids and is gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Can't have a gay dog walking around with a
Can you
tumor on
cure
its
my
ass.
gay dog? What do I do about this? I need this fixed immediately. Yeah. Because there's a Sopranos episode where like Tony gets in a fight with his brother-in-law, and his brother-in-law because Tony's making fun of his sister,
Yeah.
Tony's sister, and then he beats him up. Now the whole episode he's worried that Tony's gonna like kill him
Yeah.
for beating him up because they're kind of like they're not really tough guys the way you would think. They're very fragile.
I think that most tough people are actually quite fragile.
Mm-hmm.
It got really serious. I'm sorry. Like,
It's okay.
you know
I'm
what?
just thinking about my parakeet Fred that passed away when I was 8 years old.
Wait, really?
Huh?
What? Why does that? What is that? Are you just thinking? Oh, just about animals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So where were
Oh
we?
well, if we're gonna wrap it back to Ted Kaczynski, I
Mhm.
do. I mean, he was pretty tough. Killed people. Never even looked in their fucking faces when he did it. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Killed from a distance, and yet he's quite fragile. Yeah. I read an interview.
But anybody can send a bomb. To someone. I mean, I'll do it right now. I'll send a bomb to Saturday Night Live and say, please put Shane Gillis on the show.
Oh yeah.
How dare you? How dare you?
Oh man, that's a fucking mess.
How about a John Q movie where you like hold Saturday Night Live hostage? You're like, you're gonna give Shane Gillis a job, or I'm gonna start executing people. Mike, don't worry about it. It's okay. I'm doing Rogan. Hey guys, it's Mike and Deb. Got some bad news. 46 minutes into that recording, the audio failed and we lost some of the episodes. So now we're making up for lost time.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So can you explain to me what was happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Unabomber, right?
Yeah.
He sends bombs to people.
And he went to Harvard.
He went to Harvard.
Yeah.
He went to Harvard at the age of 16, right?
Oh.
He was this kid of Polish immigrants who was like this prodigy, very bright kid, and he goes to Harvard and he's a teenager at Harvard.
Right.
Doesn't really fit in. And at Harvard they did experiments on him. They did like mind experiments on him.
Oh,
sort of
like
unethical.
in the psych department?
Yeah.
Prior to,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't you think your life would suck if you were 16 and already smarter than everyone? Like, you probably want to bomb everyone, too.
Yeah. Well, what, like, another thing that I read in this article was that apparently at Harvard there was like sort of this culture of snobbery where they didn't really like outsiders. And he was a kid who, like, he only had 2 pairs of pants.
Ah, so
You
he
know,
wasn't
so he
amongst
didn't-
the elite. Well, he was
Yeah.
amongst the elite. He didn't belong.
Right.
Interesting.
He didn't really
like
fit.
that guy who made me delete the picture off my camera when we went to Harvard.
I think hopefully we didn't lose that. I think we talked about that. And yeah. So as we
did
know,
talk about
the
that.
worst people go to Harvard. So anyway, so
pictures in the house, bro.
I said, and you know what? I know you don't want me to use slurs anymore.
No.
I said, fuck that gay ass house where they write the gay ass Harvard Lampoon. Fuck the Harvard Lampoon.
My costume was so
I
good. It needed
hate
to
them.
be taken.
I would love to take a shit right on the floor where they write that shitty magazine.
I was only taking picture of the fact that I made myself have a slit throat.
Yeah, you were even taking pictures of their stupid house.
No, I used plaster. I put tissues on my throat and then covered it in plaster.
Right. I
And
just
then
wanna
I
say,
painted
if
it
you-
and I cut it
Right. If you write for the Harvard Lampoon, you are a bitch.
right.
You're a punk
He was
ass
just
bitch.
jealous of my
Anyway,
costume. Anyway,
so
yeah.
so after he leaves Harvard, he ends up going to grad school at University of Michigan. He was like, I don't want to be here anymore. He writes a manifesto that's all about technology. And what he says in his manifesto is that people have become slaves to technology, not the other way around. People are conforming to technology. People are society is adjusting to technology other than the other way around. And what it does is it stifles people and it makes people conform to and it stifles individual creativity. So what he did was he went and lived in Montana and
Got away from the technology.
got away from the technology.
So it couldn't. Yeah, because I guess people become reliant upon technology and then they don't think for themselves. They're like, why do algebra when I have a calculator in my pocket?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of sucks too. It's like everybody's got the same phone, the same apps, the same, it's like it does feel like
Everyone's in a soma coma.
what's that?
That book, it's a year, 1984.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah. But so yeah, so see, I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but
I don't think everyone has iPhones because then I wouldn't get any green text messages.
mm-hmm. I think one of the fundamental like themes of this podcast was like we were thinking about technology and like what is the future of technology and is it good and is it bad?
Bum bum bum.
For example, here's a great
Wait,
example.
did you guys just discover that maybe technology's like bad?
No. What? I don't know if it's bad. Nobody ever says it's bad. Everybody loves tech.
Right,
Everybody's
but
always
everyone's
blowing the
worried
tech
about
people.
robots taking over the world. Like,
Right.
Technology has been a concern for a long time. Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, and it's like maybe I am part of the angry mob that's like, don't let those robots take my moving job, because that will be the first job that they take.
Moving?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can navigate the streets like you. You need like an active brain to do that.
Yeah, but they have them already.
No, robots are going to steal doctors' jobs. They're going to be able to like compute diagnosis based on symptoms and
like,
make more.
Hello, my
precise
name is
movements.
Doctor. My name is Dr. Singh. They give him like an Indian accent.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Inclusiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he moved to Montana because he was like, "There's too much technology in the world." And then is that like before or after he sent the bombs?
And then I think to get people to listen to him and to read his manifesto, he did kill a few people. Which, when you think about it, it's kind of like
what was his motive?
it's like podcast. He just wanted attention, I guess.
No, what did he say his motive was? Why did they deserve to die, according to him?
I think he targeted like universities and airlines.
Randomly, or was it
That
addressed
was
to
like,
an
I guess
individual?
that was the symbolism of the. God damn it! That was like the symbolism of his mission.
Yeah, okay. But wait, was it saying like to Microscene or to United Airlines?
I don't know. I don't know if he chose his victims or not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have a guy on a producer desk that we could ask to Google that for us while we're doing.
I know. Too bad he's high right now.
Here we are, just
Fortnite.
wondering.
Yeah.
Like savages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Who even wonders anymore?
Yeah.
Why can't we? Somebody look that up.
I think another thing that he said though was that because I do kind of want to read the manifesto. I'm sure it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say
so
that,
it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I'm going to put this podcast on the map. Just send bombs. Just send bombs to people.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he also said that rich kids are going to be the downfall of.
He killed all these people. They must really want someone to read that.
He said rich kids are going to be the downfall of society.
Right. But I want to get rich.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right. Well, we'll get rich. But when we have kids,
we won't be part of the problem.
We're going to raise our kids as Haitian immigrants.
Oh, are we going to go there?
They're going to go live. No, they're just going to go live with like a poor family. And you'll be like, how's your Christmas, honey? Did Santa bring you the thing you wanted? Did you get your one present? And it's just like a dollar store action figure that falls apart where the paint's chipping.
Right. So technology is bad and rich kids are going to ruin the world.
Yeah, well, when you look about...
This guy's got some really bright ideas.
But he does. I'm just saying, when you think about the future, it just seems like industrialization and technology, it always makes... It doesn't serve the needs of society.
Yeah, that's like what every book is about.
Really?
Every book. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's like this is not new news, or it wasn't even back when it was this. Me.
Yeah, but everybody loves tech. Everyone's always like kissing the ass.
Right, but like I think with the idea in the back of your head about how it's ruining the world, like everybody loves everything, but pollution is killing the earth and waste is overflowing and we need the ocean to survive, but it's filled with plastic.
Right.
And all the food is poisoned and
so
all
what
the
do you
fish
think? Do you think
have mercury.
Well, that's a big
and
thing.
And it's just like everything's going down.
That's a big thing in Red Dead. The Vanderlyn gang is robbing this very wealthy industrialist who's obviously consolidating power and getting very rich, while other people
you think you own whatever land.
Don't have anything. Right, we should all just be like the Indians. We should all just be like Pocahontas. But yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't serve. It doesn't serve everybody. It doesn't help everybody. No. It doesn't. So it's like, and in the 90s, there was a lot of rhetoric about like, listen, those factory jobs just don't exist anymore. We have to adapt. We have to learn about computers, and it's just like that wasn't. I think people are realizing now that was a failure.
Right. I mean, there's still factories. We need forks.
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, but everything gets made in China.
Or overseas. Just not here, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So who is this company to say, hey, no, sorry guys, no more jobs. We're gonna
outsource
take our
it
operation
to China.
Overseas.
Well,
why do a few group of people get to do that, and why are humans just at the mercy of these few?
But maybe what if a company can't last because they can't pay to compete. Manufacture their product because the cost of it is too high and there's like not enough of a profit margin to survive.
Yeah. I don't know. Life is complicated.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, everybody, sorry about the rest of that good episode you missed out on. But
yeah, well, I think we're going to save there's going to be more time because there's only like 15 minutes of the episode lost.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything's great. There's nothing to worry about, Mike.
Check out the Unabomber's manifesto. I heard he communicates with people in prison.
Oh, he's alive?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's like in his 70s.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're encouraging people to... Does he get money from his book?
I don't think so.
Who does?
I don't know.
You're just like a whole episode advertising this dude. You could be refinancing the Unabomber.
Yeah. Well, we are taking a donation. So how about 10% of our Patreon this week goes to the Unabomber?
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh.
All right.
I don't agree with any of the ideas affiliated with the Sit Down podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm strictly here as a guest.
Could you ever see yourself in the woods, going to the woods, living a more savage life with the land? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. All he had was a little knife.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know to like not sweat and then be cold.
Mm-hmm.
I know that like the green stuff grows on the tree in the direction you want to head.
Right. Well, it grows north.
You need shelter or you'll die.
Yeah.
I can probably fashion some sort of fishing device out of a stick.
That was a Hey Arnold episode. They found their way back because everything Grandpa taught them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all Mr.
That was a good show.
Mr. Pataki's technology failed.
Yeah. So that's like the theme here. It's like the world's going to shit, but there's entertaining content out there to distract you from it. So it's like, don't worry about global warming. Look at The Bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
That's like what's...
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess, there's always the resilience of the human spirit.
Right. The resistance.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a will.
You're like
wired
in
to survive.
Fahrenheit 451.
We're wired to survive.
There's like those old people hiding in the woods that refuse to like conform to society, and they're like the thinkers.
Mm-hmm.
That's like you.
Right.
Right. And they have like a radio system kind of thing. This is it.
Right.
Yeah. People got to read more books. This is all old news.
I've never seen you read a book.
I had to when I was in school. I haven't read. Well, now I read a lot of kids' books.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this. Thanks to Malin. Thanks to you guys for listening.
Remember when you told me that if you were a girl, you'd be like really hot and read a lot?
Yeah, and I'd have a nice fat ass, and I'd read books on the train, and guys would try to hit on me with the.
Would you have glasses?
Yeah, I would probably like occasionally wear glasses.
Would you have bangs?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like a side banger.
Right into the show. What do you think? If I was a woman, would I have bangs?
Yeah.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Support us on Patreon, patreon.com/sitdownpod. Follow us on social media, sitdownpod, at sitdownpod on Twitter and Instagram. And shoot us an email, sitdownpod@gmail.com. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Good night.
God bless.